Hi, I'm Michelle Fee, founder and CEO of Cruise Planners.
Hi, I'm Brian Schultz, CIO of Cruise Planners.
So, Brian, the industry today is just booming. It's incredible. People ask me all the time, like, is travel still a thing? People still call a travel agent to travel?
We get that question all the time, but what do we say about travel? It's always there. Everybody always wants to. You don't know anybody who doesn't want to go on a
I say
vacation.
it never goes out of style.
Never goes out of style. And do you still need a travel advisor? Yeah. It's, I think, today arguably more important than ever. There's so much stuff out there. There's different types of travel, these complicated itineraries.
Complicated.
Absolutely.
I always say to people, they go, I just go online and I book a cruise. And yeah, if you want to go to the Caribbean, that might be something that's a little bit more simplified. But when you're taking a trip to Europe and you're getting off a ship every single day in a different port, and you really don't know what you're supposed to see or do, a travel agent is the perfect person to come in and help with that.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. It's really important that you have someone who's an expert. It's just like you say you need a lawyer to help you with anything legal or a financial advisor. That's what a travel advisor, this is what they do. They know exactly the right type of vacation to put together for you based on your specific needs, your interests. How long do you want to go? Where do you want to go? Best time to go?
So, when you book through a travel agent, there really isn't a cost.
Right.
The cost is built into the price. In other words, the suppliers are paying us our commission.
Well, you're telling me that if I use a travel advisor, I don't have to pay anything extra?
Correct.
Oh,
and I think that's misinformation.
Exactly right.
It's up to you, the consumer, to go out and figure out, am I booking it through a right source, or am I going to book it through a scammer who's not going to show up but took my money?
Right.
Like, we vet each and every one of our suppliers. So those land suppliers who are supposed to come and pick you up in a great port in Europe and take you, around to see the sites that you want to see, they're vetted. We know who they are, and we know that they're going to show up and they're going to be there and they're going to show you a fabulous time.
And they're reputable companies, number one. And number two, that conversation with your travel advisor is so important because they get to know you and they get to know what your interests are. So like you were saying, anywhere on the internet, you can find potentially a place to visit or a tour or something like that. But it's really that match between what your personality is and what your specific needs are is what the travel advisor does.
And I love cruise planner agents because they are out there and they're experiencing these wonderful trips themselves. So not only are they able to tell you what you shouldn't see, what you should see and do in a particular port, but they're actually doing it themselves. So they can tell you the shortcuts or the things that did work and the things that didn't work. Yeah. They're very experienced.
I think that's a huge point. Yeah. When you talk to anybody who has experience with something, it had such credibility, right? Mm-hmm. So if somebody says, oh, you have to try this restaurant, or you have to see this place, or this experience is something you'll never have anywhere else, that adds a lot of value, right? And so what you don't want is just to go into this sort of blindly and say, well, I think I want to do this. That typically doesn't work out. And for an investment in your vacation, that's what it is. It's an investment, right? You want that to be a memorable, lasting thing, right?
And there's a lot of cruise lines out there, and we don't just sell cruises. We know that. We do a lot of land as well. But when you're looking just across the segment of different types of cruises, you want to make sure that you're going on the one that best describes who you are and what your wants and needs are. And we're not putting you on a ship with a bunch of kids if you don't have any kids, or putting you on something that might be a little bit too, hoity-toity when you want to be a little bit more relaxed, or, maybe you want to, go to the Galapagos and do something like really different. And a travel agent can kind of qualify you and then give you some of the incredible choices of what you can see around the world, and not just send you on a Caribbean cruise year after year after year after year.
Yeah, and our advisors have access to such information. They have a wealth of partnerships that we have, content that we've created. They can present that information to you in such a beautiful way, right?
We floor people sometimes.
Oh, absolutely.
Who say, I only book direct. And we say, okay, give us a chance. And then they call us, and our price not only is cheaper, but it might have something included in it. And we can get them that business class air to Europe at a much less of a cost.
Right. All of those things, right? They work with you. You, as the travel advisor, you actually help create this vacation using all the different programs we have, price advantages, promos. But in addition to that, that travel advisor is looking out for you.
So they're there to be your advocate. They're there if something goes wrong, they're going to help see it through.
And then one other thing that I think is, to me, really important is that a lot of times when you go, whether it's a cruise or you're doing a tour, sometimes those are with big groups, right?
Right.
And for me, maybe I'm hoity-toity, but I like that my travel advisor would say to me, you're looking for something a little bit more private, an experience that might be a little bit different than you would get from maybe a brand. We have access to so many of those different programs. So when you're going to a place like Italy and you want to go to the Sistine Chapel, maybe we can find you the right, skip the line type thing.
If you're interested in travel and you love to travel, because that's probably one of the biggest check boxes that happens is when people want to become a franchise owner. It's because they love to travel and they figure, you know what, I'm that family member that books all of the rest of my family, or, people at work come to my desk all the time because they know that I love to travel and I've been there and I've done that. And so why not earn money while you're doing something that you absolutely love?
Yeah. And I would also add to that, right now, the way the world is going in terms of the travel industry, it's getting more complex. It's getting more tricky. If you were to become a travel advisor, you need to have a network of tools and systems behind you to make that easy, right? We talked for a second a little bit about AI, right?
Right.
Well, I don't want my customers out there using AI to put together some random itinerary for me. But me, if I were a travel advisor, I want those tools to help present information that I can put in front of my customers. So right now we're in this great opportunity, this time right now where we have so much information, but it's being organized. It's made it so simple to present really, really compelling different travel options to your customers. So to me, if this was maybe 10, 15 years ago, some of these things just didn't exist. And even though the industry's gotten more complex, we've sort of backed that up by giving and empowering our advisors with all the information to help make those decisions
at their fingertips.
Yeah, faster, easier, more direct, and it shows in our customer surveys, right? We're seeing such great feedback. The alignment between the advisor and their customers has never been higher.
That makes a travel advisor that much more front and center.
An expert, yeah.
People are looking to travel advisors. And I always said over the COVID period of time that we never want to talk about it ever again, but we do. We became popular again.
Yep.
People always said, I thought you all went away. I didn't know that there was such a thing as travel agent anymore. And it's not that we went away. We just do business a little bit differently.
And I think we live in a world now of specialization. People want an expert to help them. In the age of the internet and everything that's available to us, you want somebody who really knows their stuff, right?
Absolutely.
And that person, they need to be committed to providing you the best experience because, quite honestly, they want your business again, right?
And our agents are super educated because we
teach them.
We teach them, right? They have amazing technology which you and your team build. And we have marketing that gets their name out in their local area. And it's all driven by everything we do here at Home Office.
Right. You need that machine behind you.
Correct.
And that's what we specialize here at the corporate level is, building tools and programs that allow somebody to sort of jump into this world of being a travel advisor without necessarily having that much background in it, because it is, like we said, it's complex.
Yeah.
But that shouldn't be intimidating. That should be an opportunity.
80% of the people that join us every single year and buy a franchise have never been in the industry before. And we love that because we can really send you in the right direction. And again, you get a coach, somebody that will work with you one-on-one, but yet you'll have access to all kinds of ongoing training, in-person, virtual, however you want to learn, we've got it available.
And I think that's a really important thing. That's the other thing. We all know that everybody learns a little bit differently. Some people like to read and really kind of take notes on things. Other people are like, give me that in a bite-sized, TikTok level of a video. And so what we've done is we've mastered this sort of way of taking our content and delivering it in all these different ways. And I think what's nice about that is that you allow yourself the ability to learn at whatever pace is right for you.
What we do here at Home Office is we just try to create those tools and programs that is going to save you time, which will make you money. How? Because it's going to give you more time to sell.
Right. Every hour of every day, we want to maximize that. If you become a travel advisor, You should be working with your excited customers, your friends, your neighbors, your colleagues, your associates to build those vacation options. What you don't want to be doing is long-term data entry and tons of hours on research, right? So everything we do is to optimize that experience from the back end, right? So that you have access to that information on demand. You can send things out with a minute's notice. And it allows you to not only be nimble in your business, but just think about what your customer is. You can ask somebody asks you for a quote on a cruise. You can have that sucker out to them within just a couple of minutes.
And I love that we have a community,
absolutely,
a big community of agents. We're over 3,000 agents. So we always say, look, I've been in this business for over 40 years. I haven't been everywhere, although I am working on it.
She was pretty close.
I'm pretty close. But, you know, so you don't know everything. But what you do have is you've got this army behind you of people that all you have to do is go out and ask, like, I've never been here. What are the 3 things that I should be telling my customer that they shouldn't miss out on?
Right. And I think that's probably a lot of what the audience might feel is, you know, I've never done this before. It's a new experience to me. How can I be expected when somebody asks me for that product that I've never even really heard of? And to your point, the community is there to sort of to lift you up.
We're one brand and everybody's moving that brand forward.
Absolutely. And they're all in the furtherance of making that brand as strong as possible. So maybe Michelle hasn't been to some place, but maybe I have, and I can share that knowledge. And that becomes not only a great exchange of information, but a friendship, perhaps. You know, we really cultivate a family type environment. That's something that's really, really important to us. And if you talk to any of our franchisees, we expect you'll hear the same thing. But that's not by accident, right? That's a very intentional thing. This is not a corporate type thing. This is about a community of people working together in collaboration with us behind the scenes as your big brother to back you up whenever you might need it.
Yep. I think Cruise Planners is an amazing company. We won a ton of awards, and there is a reason why. Is because we really do reinvest back in this company each and every year. We make sure that our agents are fast forward. You know, there are still people in our industry that are still standing by and waiting to see what AI is going to do for their business. And we're already at 3.0 and moving forward. Right. So, you know, we do take that front level road. We want to be the first in line to get something done, not the last in line.
Right. I think the word I would always refer to is innovation, right? If you're not working with a partner that's innovating all the time, what's going to end up happening is you're going to sit there one day and say, hey, we don't have that, and we don't have access to that. Why don't we?
We want to make sure our agents are working smarter.
The tools that have come out and the tools that we continue to develop and build, whether it be on the technology side or our marketing programs or the partners that we invested and work with, it's all about, again, optimizing it, making it more efficient, taking that burden off of your shoulders. Because the more you're working with your customers, the better for you, for us, for everybody. So we constantly reinvest in every one of our systems. That will never change. That's just part of our DNA. And it's worked out really well so far. And I'm super excited for what's to come because, you know, it's just, we're at the forefront.
Absolutely.
You know, we're leading the pack. We're not going to sit behind and watch others, you know, sort of innovate in this space. That's what we want to do. And that's what we have a reputation for.
Every year.
Mm-hmm.
And if you want to find out more, you can go to cruiseplannerfranchise.com.
Thank you.